dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and tonight I've got a bit of a different video to share with you guys. It's gonna kind of just be a stream of consciousness video where I just kind of sit and talk. But I've got a particular topic in mind. Earlier I watched a video by a YouTube creator called Sarah Hawkinson. Now Sarah has two channels. One's like a horror movie review channel, and then the other one's one where she talks about all kinds of different things. And the video that I recently watched by her was one where she talks about dreams that she's given up on over the years. And I thought that was such an interesting concept. And in watching her talk about it, first of all, even though she kept saying in the video that, you know, it wasn't meant to be a sad video, it was just kind of looking at things in a realistic way and examining them, you know, it broke my heart to hear her talk about these things that, you know, she had tried and given up on. And that in a way inspired me to make this video. In this video, I'm not really going to be talking about the dreams that I gave up on, but more dreams that I never got the chance to pursue, or never got the chance to pursue ... yet. And hearing her talk about that, because of course we've all got the things that we've tried and then realized maybe this isn't our thing. But yeah, from there I just kind of snowballed onto, what about the things I never tried? And it just got me thinking. Anyway, I'm gonna link her video down below if you want to check her out. She's fantastic. I love both of her channels equally. If you love horror movies, definitely check out that channel, but the video I'll link is from her other channel. Anyway, so the things that I've dreamed of but have never pursued. So here we go. The first one goes back to when I was a very, very little girl, as long as I can remember. And it's followed me, haunted me maybe, to this very day. And that is, when I was little, I always wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to be in dance class, and I was never put in dance class. And that's something that just has stuck with me forever. And now the thing is, looking back on it, I've always been very quiet, and I was a very quiet child. So I don't even think that I pushed it. Like, I'm sure I wasn't constantly asking to be put in dance class and turned down. It's just that I was never in dance class, even though in my soul, that's something that I feel like I was meant to do. And that might sound nuts. And I wasn't the most graceful of children. I was very clumsy, and maybe I wouldn't have been good at it, but I wish that had been something I had been able to discover on my own, whether or not I was good at it. And even if I wasn't good at it, maybe I would have loved it. Maybe it would have fulfilled something in me. Who knows? And of course, it's never too late. It's never too late. That's the thing, right? As long as there's life, there's potential. As long as there's life, there's hope to do whatever you want to do and try. So that's one of the goals that I want to set for myself. I'm going to be turning 39 in September. And one of my goals is going to be that by the time I turn 45, I want to be in dance classes. And maybe I'll hate it and I won't stick with it, but maybe I'll love it. Maybe it will fill something inside of me. Who knows? We'll see. But I'm giving myself that much time. I know that sounds like a lot of time, but for one, right now, I can't do anything right now because it's just, now's not the time with everything COVID happening. But I want to give myself enough time to work up to it, find the right fit. So I feel like by 45, I want to be dancing. Another thing that I always, I don't know if this is so much a dream, but something that I always wished I was good at drawing. And Sarah touches on this one too in her video, where she sort of talks about drawing's kind of one of those things that if you stick with it, you will get better. Because a lot of things, if you practice, the more you practice, the better you get at something. And that's true, I'm sure, for a lot of people, for a lot of things. But I was such a bad drawer. It's not even like, oh, I didn't stick with it long enough to get better. There was nothing to make better. It was just a mess. Anytime I would try to draw something, whether that was last month or 10 years ago or 30 years ago, it all looks like it was done by a 4-year-old. So that's one of those things that I just didn't pursue because there's nothing there. There's no seed there. And sometimes you just gotta move on. So I knew that wasn't something to put a lot of effort into. As I got a little older, another thing that I always thought I might be really good at is design, like designing clothes. Or one thing I always was really interested in designing was handbags. But to me, that was one of those things that, like, where do you even start when you're a teenager and you have an idea? Where do you even start with that? I feel like there are some people who just intuitively know where to start with that, and so they just do it. But that was never me. That was never something that I was that passionate about, that I put a lot of effort into trying to figure out, I guess. I did go through a period where I made jewelry. I made necklaces and bracelets and earrings, and that was fun. But that was quite a while ago, and the reason I stopped with that was because I only had access to whatever was in my town. Back then I wasn't like ordering things online and things like that, so it was like whatever was in town was what I had access to. Now I did live in a city at the time, so that made it a little easier, but I kind of just reached a wall with that. I feel like if I was doing it now, you know, with the internet, there's just so many options for things, to be able to buy beads and pendants and things like that, but the supplies just weren't there, and I feel like I got to a point where it's like I've made all I can make. And so I stopped with that, but I did sell some pieces, and that was a lot of fun. But I feel like that's something that at that point, I just never pursued it any further. And I guess that could be one of those dreams that you just kind of give up on. And that's the sort of one that, like, the same with drawing and fashion design. It's not like dancing. Like dancing, there's a hole in me. I feel it for that. But those didn't have that kind of intensity when I think back on it. I'm trying to think of what else. I guess the final big one, and it's one that I really also want to pursue in the future. If you've been around my channel for a while now, you know that I'm a writer. That's like my main thing that I work towards. I work at it every day, and I hope to very soon have a novel to share with you. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I self-published a couple of books. A couple of, one was a poetry collection, and another one was a collection of short stories. And I don't even know where those books are now to show you, but since then I've been, you know, working and honing the craft towards novel writing. And another thing that's kind of related to that, kind of not, because the two don't have to go hand in hand, but for me they do. One thing that I would love to do in the future is open up my own small sort of independent book publishing house where I could publish other authors' books. That I feel like I have a good eye for good books, and just imagine how exciting that would be to make other authors' dreams come true like that. When I was in my 20s, again, probably mid-20s, about 10, 12 years ago now, it was something that I tried to get off the ground. I had an idea. I wanted it so bad, but I had a little kid at home and it just wasn't the right time. It just was not the right time. But maybe down the road. That's one of those sort of, you know, the dance is kind of my hobby goal for the future, and having a small publishing house would be my career goal for the future. It's just, I can't think of anything I would love to do more than publish books. For others, obviously my own, but you know, you don't need a publishing house to publish your own books. You can go with another publishing house or self-publish. That's such a popular thing nowadays that gets really incredible results sometimes. But yeah, I would love to have my own publishing house, and that's gonna be another goal. I think now in my late 30s versus my mid 20s, I have much more wisdom, much more just life experience to be able to put into a goal like that and make it work in all the ways that I wasn't able to make it work back then, even just in the idea stage, you know? So yeah, those are kind of the dreams that were never pursued / the ones that I'm still hoping to someday pursue, plus a few that it's just best not to pursue. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this different sort of video. After watching her video, I thought that was just hearing her talk about those subjects was so, it just hit me, and I just thought I'd share something similar because it's such an interesting topic, and I find it so interesting to hear about the kinds of dreams that different people have. We're all so different with such different dreams, and it's just, I feel like you really get to know someone when you hear about the things that they wanted when they were a child, or what they wanted to be or do, and also what they want to be and do now as adults. So let me know in the comments down below, what's your biggest unfulfilled dream that you still have your eye on? That, you know, it hasn't happened yet, but you're like, I see you and I'm coming for you, because, you know, it's never too late. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great day, and I will see you on Friday with another book talk video. Bye guys.